What's good? Trying to record early, get started with the day. Really want to push workout, and today I might push an issue. Basically, recently, seen someone who was a tier offender. Look it up if you don't know what that is. Um, you'll get where I'm getting at. So, basically, someone who preys upon people. Either way, at an event at a school, thought this wasn't legal. Looked into it, and you'd be surprised to realize that people with SO offenses, that tier offenders, they get out, and for the time that they're on parole is the only time that they can have restrictions placed on them to not be in school areas. That means they can volunteer at a church to be at a school for an egg drop. That means they can, there's no restrictions on them once they're off parole. So seems like, you know, we're not doing our job as, keeping kids away from these type of people, and keeping these type of people away from kids. Um, you know, Even the people who might be leaders at churches where these people volunteer, churches I went to, you weren't allowed to be any type of volunteer around kids unless you had a background check, making sure you weren't this type of person. So, out bad behavior. I guess that's where we're going with this, is out bad behavior. I'm all about giving people second chances, but you can't give people second chances to hurt innocence and hurt a kid. So, um, let me know what you guys think. I'm getting ready to try to push this issue more. Today, this is trying to stick to more of the workout type work, content. But this is really something that's bothering me, man. If you guys want to hear this whole story in detail, I'll even put the person's name out, picture up. Um, it's just baffling me because the same way he offended is the same type of things he's doing now by volunteering for churches and stuff like that. Use a leadership role at a church as a youth pastor to offend, and then this guy is still volunteering for another church at egg drops for younger kids, even younger kids, and it, the pastor knows this guy's offense, still gave him a leadership spot, no big deal, right? No, it's a big deal to me, man, and it's a big deal. I think it should be a big deal to a lot of parents that this dude was allowed to be 2 years in a row at high school at an event where thousands of kids are, to celebrate Easter, and here the local church putting it on's got a known offender there working the event. I mean, just man, dude. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to reach out to people, talk to people in this town. I don't. It's not that I don't want to out the offender, because I don't care about that, and I will. Charles Engel, youth pastor that used that spot to offend. But it's the fact that I want to talk to people in town, that I don't want to get the wrong eyes on the town, because it's a good town, a lot of good people there, and I'm gonna reach out, I guess, and give this guy who is a pastor who gives this guy a second chance at a leadership spot at a church, knowing this. I'm gonna give him a chance because he's someone I thought a lot of up until this point. I'm gonna give him a chance to explain himself, explain why he thinks it was a good idea to have this guy at a high school. But the rest of the video, let's go. Today's not a push day. We did push yesterday. Really couldn't record. Um, so it's going to be another full day workout, and we might do some squats too. So yeah, let's get. All right.
maybe not so much camel, but other colors going on. But I have camel ones. Like me. Okay, okay. Very, very manly. Okay, all right. All right, here's a guy who writes, Rover, I deal with my group. I miss you, and I'm hoping to get a different viewpoint and or harsh reality on this. I was friends with a guy and friends with his, at the time, wife. Things didn't go well in their marriage, and there was some pretty severe stuff that happened. Well, around that time, I remained friends with both of them, and then, when they officially divorced after some time, I found myself getting feelings for the wife. This was multiple years ago. Fast forward to now, we are together, and it just kind of happened, and we are happier than ever. Now, this used to be friend is going around with a bunch of non-factual BS and slandering both of our names to cater to his narcissistic needs. I'm wondering if it would be wise of me to confront him about it, or just let the crazy play out and move on with life. Love the show, please. Okay. So obviously, what the guy was claiming is that this guy moved in on his wife when he was married, and that's the wife and this guy were carrying on affairs. Obviously, what the guy's claiming on. I don't know where he says it's on Facebook or something, or I don't know where the guy is spreading this around. I mean, I'll take your word for it, but it is a little bit suspicious that I was friends with both of them, and and then I continue to be friends with both of them. And I don't know what happened. I just all of a sudden I got feelings for the wife. It sounds a little suspicious. Now, maybe it's true. But my advice would be, who cares whether it's true or not? Don't pay attention to what this ex-husband is saying. And he has, you shouldn't pay any attention to that guy. The guy's not living with you, and this woman has nothing to do with your current relationship. And frankly, who cares what anyone else thinks? What happens if you go confront the guy? Then that's how people end up getting stabbed, shot, or over. You name it. Okay, so that's not worth it. What are you gonna do? Stop writing about me on Facebook or what are you gonna your eye or something? So no, don't worry about it. Move on with your life. And I would just probably the easiest thing to do. Don't look at it. Don't stop following the guy on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, wherever the hell he's posting this stuff. Out of sight, out of mind. And that's my advice. Does anyone have other advice? Or I know you probably don't. He took your woman. He was supposed to be a friend. That was that guy's friend, right? No, this is the guy who has the woman. You're completely out of reverse Peter. This is the guy who's now with the wife, and the ex-husband is now saying this guy they were having an affair when we were married. Go kick his ass. You're going to kick his ass. It doesn't matter. Okay, all right, just go kick ass. Who's better? What's going on? Just kick someone's ass.
He shouldn't have. That's friends. You don't do that. You should have taken your friend's girl.
Alright.
Not that he took I think they were together when they were married, but still even after time, I think that's gross.
Yeah, whatever. I don't believe that he had feelings for that woman beforehand when they were married. What an idiot. I mean, I know how guys are, and he obviously were hoping that maybe they still were going to split up, whether he had an affair beforehand or not. I don't know, but I don't think no one guy ever has been like, I knew this woman for like 3 years, and then one day I woke up and I was like, wow, I'm attracted to this chick. Wow, I couldn't believe it. No. And from the second you saw her, it's obvious ass right there. Stripper Scott, you're on Rover's Morning Glory. Morning, Stripper Scott. Yo.
That's it. Andrew's in the bed. No
Does that
position.
mean that when you say you knew what that meant, does that mean
Alright, I'm upset.
you knew that she was unwilling to get paid, or that you actually had free sex for the first time in your life?
It's a brother. I think that guy's a savior.
Wait a second.
And everything I do at the gym, I have to do pretty much this little different, but still the same exercise. Let's get switched up. Curls.
No good. I'm glad you did.
Without paying for it. There's 40-something years old, and he still can't seal a deal for free sex.
Yeah, good job, Scott. You did good.
Maybe it's all a plot to obviously that she could complain and see that it was not intentional.
Oh,
You and I think bucks.
shit. Not one.
That sounds fun. Yeah.
No sex, drunken sex. Scott, anyway, did you drinking anyway?
Alright.
4 tribes, there's 1,000 women, times $400. You've spent $400,000 on wonders in your life. You know, I've never done a math like that, and you say it makes me feel stupid. No, you have a great story. Here's the, you know, it's the best story you're gonna hear. You would have put all this money into some sort of investment account. It would have grown exponentially and or compounded. You had a mutual fund. You'd be a multi-millionaire. We would eventually be throwing themselves at you. It's the other way around. But all right. In theory, that would work. But in practice, I think I met somebody like in my 30s. I probably would have killed myself a long time ago because there's a reason I actually have. Here's if you get to the camera and look at that guy.
That's not right now.
That would almost be worth it, right?
So I'm up late. You know, do as much as you can. 10 to 15 reps. And 3 seconds into 100%. 780. I mean, it feels like a try to muscle. The other powerlifters, they just drop the weight and they use the rebound back up. I don't think it's the best idea. When you're trying to build muscle, maybe the game is control it.
Oh, happy birthday.
I say that, that's like that. Probably do a bunch more barbell curls and I mean, really, I'm happy with that for today. Try to hit the gym for the second full day. So we'll do one more. Variety in. But find something from your low back or deadlift, whatever you're comfortable with. Some people deadlift don't work the reward. The risk was reward. Just right there. To find something that you like deadlifts. Do something that worry about. Just because you see those guys doing heavy deadlift, I mean that's what is great for your body. And if you have a problem with it, I recommend a hex bar. It lines your shoulders up and your body up a lot more. Just for some people, hex bar is the way to go for deadlifts. If you have gingerability issues. Now we're still doing chin up, 4 rounds, which are awesome. Because they told you to lower that and your biceps awesome. You raise your biceps.
He's a diabetic and has no feeling in his feet. He woke up the other morning and found blood.
I try to increase it once.
What happened? Upon further investigation, he realized that a rat had eaten his toe while he was asleep.
Oh,
He had
that's
to
okay.
he had no idea it was happening until the next morning. This has given me nightmares ever since he told me this story. I'm not sure of the relative's name, but just to make sure you have Jeffrey proof that he has all 10 of his
Of
toes.
course.
And he's also sent a picture of this. Listen, but he claims that this is his cousin's wife's relative. I'm not get a picture of this. You don't even know the person's name, but a rat ate his toe, and he didn't even feel it because he's diabetic. Let me see. Oh, she's really gone to the dog. Oh, she's got it. Oh, was it like too, or is it just slanted? I don't know. Oh, man,
Oh, yeah.
everything out there. And the money, the bone off.
I'm not buying this. There's no way.
Well, I don't know, man. The guy just made up this weird story. Why make up that story? I'm buying it. I believe it. I've got a break. Our number is 866. You're over.
Really heavy on curls. I'm trying all that. Heavy on curls or not. No, it needs to be.
What's the weirdest place you got lucky?
Lucky? I'll tell you, I guess. I might have this office. More than once, actually. What do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before the kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you got lucky?
Never been in
This is the best thing I feel at night.
Lucky anywhere.
Rear,
LuckyLandSlots.com.
rear delts and onwards.
You feel lucky?
Just right in there.
Let your boss rule your day. Start your day with us, and let Billy rule your day instead. Go back with Robert's Morning Glory.
Don't worry about the big time. When you start out, slow it out, but you're not as heavy as you can. Play up to the 10th or 15th rep. It's almost failure. And yeah, trying to failure to get there. It's the game, guys.
Austin wants to come to Cleveland. We found the show. It's a lot of people.
So it's now hit.
We're gonna hold the
They something like Douglas today. I don't have
So
the chair connector, the first sit up type engine from the lower back. I was done with the pedal bell. So you get trying to keep this one at my head hinge. That pressure at the hinge helps the hinge on that. So maybe I hope that helps. But
So, you know,
so on. Anytime. Alright. So far,
Evaluating well, Gina Davis and Susan
Jim,
Sarandon.
today, and me 7 grand.
Wow, these are huge celebrities.
Alright, but, how did you, so you put on the night playlist, you jam out all the way there, you spend all the way there, you don't spend the night? No, it was from Corey. No, my time was over. Wait, if I was over, I was 2 hour drive. So I'm trying to get to all the things that happened, so anyway, let me see if I can get some video here. Give me 1 second here. Here's the number. Okay. No, definitely no resemblance to our friend Jeffrey Trump. That's a dead ringer, isn't it? We should have plugged in that. That would freak this guy out, man. Oh my god. So we're gonna have like a non-terminal panel. Yeah. So everybody came out, it was his first come, first serve, and he just made it in time, and if you paid for VIP, you got there first. So we go there, we kind of sneak into the VIP line, we get to his auditorium, and it's massive, and it's standing room only. This is like the first time that they've been all together. And I don't know if you remember going back to now 20 days, but one of the best plot, one of my favorite plots from that show was Steven Silver was addicted to crystal meth. He was addicted to crank. I don't know if you remember that. That's the early seasons. He was working at a radio station. And he was the first time I'm like, man, I like the radio seems so cool. He's like, Madonna, I got finals, I got an overnight shift in the He's like, dude, we can't do best of David Silver. We have to go live 24/7. So anyway, he started introducing the crystal meth crank. So do his DJ shit. It's almost like Saved by the Bell. They should become addicted.
So here's what I found out. Looking into everything I have and even reaching out to, officials, basically these guys, unless they're on parole, guys like Chuck Engel are allowed to, volunteer at schools, volunteer at egg drops, volunteer at churches, and be on school property as long as they're not on parole and that's even to the point that the parole officer has to make that an issue. So once they're off parole, they're allowed, even if they're tier 3 offender, tier 1, 2, 3, any of them are allowed on school property once they're off parole, which is crazy to me, especially when they're seem to be doing the same thing that they did to offend. I just thought this was interesting, something I was dealing with through the day that I started this video. So I want to let you guys know, and I wanted to make this video to warn people in the town of New Richmond that, surprisingly enough, you have a church that is allowing a known offender to work at an egg drop at a high school, even though they know his offense against teenagers. So I feel like, it's very, just not a good look, man. Not a good look for churches. And for all the churches who are not openly just going, calling this type of behavior out for what it is, that's why people, that's why the numbers of people going to church are diminishing, because you're hearing about cases where churches will just send somebody off to a different church and not report them for crimes such as the IFBB scandal or IFB scandals that I've heard a lot about recently. And then seeing stuff like this myself, where, someone used their role as a church leader to offend against a child and then ends up doing the same thing with the leadership role at a church again. Just crazy to me, crazy. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. And, the thing that I think is craziest about this is everybody just assumes that legally they are not allowed at schools. So check it out, what I'm telling you. They're allowed at schools. It's crazy.